welcome to my channel. My name is Grace, and this video is going to be about books that I still own, but I've kind of DNF'd the series, so I'm probably not going to pick up these books anytime soon. But I'm still hanging on to them because there's a possibility I might be talked into it. Like a friend might come along and be like, oh, but it just gets so much better, just keep reading the series, or, you know, whatever. The first one is going to be our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab. I read This Savage Song. I still have This Savage Song. And I read This Savage Song, and I liked it. This is the first book in the series, and I liked it, but not quite enough to feel super motivated to pick up our Dark Duet. Kate Harker is the main character. She's the daughter of like this really ruthless guy, and so she's one of the main characters, and this book opens up with her burning down her school. It's kind of cool. I kind of like the whole aggro feel of who Kate was. And then you've got August Flynn, who is a monster that just wants to be human, and I'm pretty sure he plays music. He's the musical one. Then him and Kate meet up, and at school, Kate's new school, I'm trying to remember, wasn't that memorable, but it was an interesting concept. It was super interesting, with like just the way the whole monster world worked and the human world and the way they kind of combined. It was interesting enough for me to like not DNF the first book, but not interesting enough for me to pick up the second book. Victoria Schwab is kind of an insta-buy author for me. As soon as I see a new Victoria Schwab book, I just go grab it and I love to just give her a shot, you know, no matter what she writes. So anyway, I tried it. It was only mediocre. I think I give it maybe 3 stars. Not like, you know, it wasn't mind-blowing or anything. Another one is gonna be Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I absolutely loved the first half of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, but then I didn't really like the second half, and I really didn't like the ending, actually. It just kind of threw me for a loop, and I was just kind of like, wait, what? Like, I just didn't like how it ended, and it wasn't super motivating for me to try and pick up more books in the series. I think this is book 2. Sequel. Yes, so this is book 2. And I went ahead and like grabbed the second book because I thought maybe, and I found it pretty cheap, actually. But alas, I just have not felt motivated to grab it or pick it up. So it's just been sitting on my shelf for a few years now at this point. Another one, nobody hate me for this one, okay? But Golden Sun. So this is book 2 in a sci-fi dystopian series. Book 1 is Red Rising. Basically, it's Hunger Games on Mars is what Red Rising is about. And honestly, like, Hunger Games isn't really my thing anyway. It just wasn't one of my favorite books when I was reading it. And I don't think I like the whole dystopian trope in general. I just think it's not my thing. So I think a lot of people really loved it because they love dystopian, and it's dystopian in outer space, which is awesome if you love dystopian. But me not really loving dystopian, it was just kind of like, eh. And I don't know, there was just a lot of just really graphic violence in Red Rising that kind of bothered me a little bit, like some of the things that happened in the book. It did kind of bother me, and bothered me enough to where I wasn't excited to pick up Golden Sun, which is book 2. I do have friends that have read Golden Sun that are like, oh my gosh, I liked it, but if you don't like dystopian and if you didn't like Red Rising, then you shouldn't pick up Golden Sun. So I have actually had confirmation from multiple friends that it's probably not my book. Oh well, you can't win them all, I guess. Another one is going to be Waking Gods by Sylvain Neuvel. I actually absolutely loved Sleeping Giants, which is book 1, about this girl who's riding her bike through the woods and then falls into this sinkhole and then finds this giant robot underground, or a piece of this giant robot underground, and then dedicates her life to finding all the other pieces and putting together this giant robot. And it's super science-y. The main character's name is Rose. So it's super science-y, the way Rose figures out how to put all these pieces together and figures out how to find the other pieces and figures out how to like build this team that knows how to operate this robot, and it's told in an interview style, so it's an epistolary, told in like interviews and emails and all sorts of stuff. So I really, really love Sleeping Giants, but book 2 was Waking Gods. So book 1 was like the science-y, like building this robot thing, and then Waking Gods book 2, all these other robots come and attack Earth. I have cat hair on my nose. Ah. Then in book 2, all these other robots come and attack Earth, and then they have to defend Earth with this robot. And it was just kind of like just robots blowing up stuff, which is kind of cool, but it didn't have the same like figuring out this alien mystery with science aspect that Sleeping Giants had. And I think that's why I really love Sleeping Giants. And since Waking Gods just didn't feel the same, didn't have the same feelings, it just kind of feels like this war book, this robot war book, I actually didn't like it. And I actually DNF'd the book halfway through. I tried to finish it, but I got to the middle and I was just like, I can't. I can't. I don't like it. I'm not enjoying it. I just don't want to keep reading it. So, unfortunately, Waking Gods has been sitting on my shelf for about a year now. Cause, yeah, and I'm not going to go on and pick up the last book. I forget what it's called, but it's red. Maybe there'll be a picture of it up here or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to continue on with this series, unfortunately. And it's a bummer because I love Sleeping Giants so much. I thought it was so fun and good and made me feel super smart reading about all this science-y stuff and figuring out this alien robot mystery. It was awesome. Bummer. All right. The final one that I've had sitting on my shelf forever that I'm actually not going to pick up is Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. So I read book 1, Ember and the Ashes, and isn't this cover beautiful? And I did enjoy it. Like, I thought it was kind of problematic, but I enjoyed it enough to where I picked up book 2, which is A Torch Against the Night. And I absolutely hated book 2. I hated it so much. The thing is, I didn't even really like most of the main characters in Ember at the Ashes. I liked all the side characters, so I was kind of just reading the book for the side characters and some of the side plots that I kind of liked, you know? But then, in A Torch Against the Night, spoiler alert, a lot of the side characters that were my favorite characters died, and they were just dead. And I was like, there's no point in continuing and to pick up Reaper at the Gates because I don't even, all my favorite characters are dead because I didn't even like the main characters, and like all the side characters that were my favorites were killed off. So I was like, I don't even care. I didn't care. And I didn't really care about where the plot line was going. I didn't care about any of the characters that were left in the plot line. I don't know, like, I just didn't care and anymore after reading A Torch Against the Night. And so I have yet to pick up a Reaper at the Gates. I don't know, I might be convinced if somebody like tells me that it's amazing, if somebody has read it and says and thinks that it just gets so much better and it's like the greatest next book in this series, let me know in the comments down below and I will seriously consider picking it up again. But I am keeping it around because I do want to love it. I did want to love this series. I did. But I can't do it. I don't think I can do it without a whole lot of encouragement. If I get a whole lot of encouragement to pick up this book, I might think about it. But as of right now, I can't do it. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. Also, tell me in the comments below if I've DNF'd one of your favorite series and if I should continue with any of those books that I just told you about. If any of those are your absolute favorite book of all time, I want to know about it and I want to know so that I can pick it up so I'm not missing like an awesome reading experience, you know? Anyway, so those are all the books that I still own that I'm not planning on reading because I DNF'd the series. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hit that like button for me because it helps the algorithm and stuff. It helps more people see my videos. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button for me because I want to see more of your face. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you. And you're so freaking beautiful. And I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye!